The conflict between Ukraine and Russia began in 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, a region that was part of Ukraine. This led to a protracted conflict in eastern Ukraine, particularly in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. The conflict is characterized by a struggle for territorial control, with Ukraine seeking to maintain its sovereignty and Russia supporting separatist movements. It has resulted in a significant loss of life and displacement of people, with ongoing diplomatic efforts to find a resolution. The conflict remains a complex and sensitive issue in international geopolitics. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia, often referred to as the Ukraine crisis or Ukraine conflict, has its roots in historical, political, and ethnic tensions. Here's a more detailed overview. Annexation of Crimea. In February 2014, Russia annexed Crimea following the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Russia president Yanukovych. Russia's actions in Crimea were widely condemned by the international community, and it marked a significant violation of Ukraine's sovereignty. Eastern Ukraine conflict. In the aftermath of the annexation of Crimea, pro-Russian separatist movements emerged in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions of eastern Ukraine. These separatist groups, with alleged support from Russia, declared independence from Ukraine. This led to a violent conflict between Ukrainian government forces and the separatists. Humanitarian crisis. The conflict has had a devastating impact on the civilian population. Thousands of people have been killed, and many more have been displaced from their homes, both within Ukraine and to neighboring countries. Humanitarian organizations have struggled to provide aid to those in need. Diplomatic efforts. Numerous attempts have been made to resolve the conflict through diplomacy. The Minsk agreements, brokered by the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, have been central to these efforts. However, achieving a lasting ceasefire and a political settlement has proven to be extremely challenging. International response. The conflict has strained Russia's relations with Western countries, leading to sanctions against Russia. It has also brought Ukraine closer to Western institutions, such as the European Union and NATO, in its pursuit of security and stability. Ongoing tensions. As of my last knowledge update in January 2022, the conflict had not been fully resolved, and sporadic fighting continued in eastern Ukraine. The situation is complex and remains a source of tension in international relations. Please note that the situation may have evolved since then, and I recommend consulting up-to-date news sources for the latest developments in the Ukraine-Russia conflict.